It's very common when I meet people, I talk about how I enjoy running, and then they say I'm not a runner or I'm not meant to run, and I think it's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And if you're one of those people, it's no offense, it's nothing about you. I think it's just one of those things like the way I would compare it to you telling a baby, oh, you can't walk. You're not meant to walk. You're meant to crawl around for the rest of your life. And they're just limiting themselves. It's no different than someone saying, I can't quit my job or I can't ask a girl out, whatever it is, right? Like when you put those limiting beliefs on yourself, I've always had a problem with that. I still do it too. It's just, especially with running, I think, well, have you given running a fair shake? And so if you suck at running or running is not meant for you, this is going to be a video for you and some things that'll help you enjoy it. If you clicked on this video and for some reason you don't give a shit and you don't want to run, that's fine. Like, that's cool. I'm not saying running's meant for everyone. I'm more making a point when you limit yourself before you've even given it a fair shake. So let me help you give it a fair shake, and I'm going to give you a couple things that might help you enjoy it and get past this sucking at running phase. So the single most important thing, I just got this question on a TikTok video of this guy wanting to train for an ultra. He said, what's the most important thing? I think this is the most important thing, whether it's a 5K or a 100 miler. And it's that you slow down. Just slow down, man. Like, you don't need to run 7-minute miles if you're not a runner. If you can, absolutely. What I've noticed with people is they just go all out on every single run, and they burn themselves out, and it's too much, and they're really beat up. And so if you decided to pick, which kind of rolls into point two, being consistent and not overdoing it, do something that's reasonable. A lot of people, when they say they're going to run, it's like 5-6 days a week. If you haven't ever ran, 2 days a week is progress. 1 day a week is progress. It's one more day a week that you've ran than in the past. And so if you pick something manageable that isn't crazy, like you're running 2 days a week, and instead of going all out on every single run, you slow down and figure out how to have good form or feel what feels natural for you. You do that over 2 to 4 weeks, you will enjoy running more. There's some other bonus things to talk about, but the basis of it is slow down and just be consistent in a way that's manageable. I mean, if you can go from no days of running a week to 5 days of running a week, go for it. I'm all here for going extreme. I do stuff like that too. It just is going to increase your chances of injury or just getting burnt out. And so if you picked a couple days a week or 1 day a week, and then you decided to slow down to 10-minute miles, 11-minute miles, 12-minute miles, I think that's great. It's a start. And a lot of people, when they get into running, they want to be able to do it for a race, but sometimes it's like they just want to, do it for the rest of their life and have some sort of cardio. They know cardio is good for them. It's healthy. When you have an increased VO2 max, it's definitely a signal of health and that you'll live longer. And so they're just trying to do it for health reasons. And if you want to do it for health reasons and you want it to be a part of your life for a long term and not just do it for a one-time marathon or a one-time race, nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you want to be able to do it over years, then there's no rush. Man, my camera's being weird today. So anyways, there's no rush to get really fast right away. And I've made plenty of videos on building a base and taking your time in zone 2 or taking your time with lower heart rate, because over time when you expand on that base, you'll become more efficient, and then you can also stack speed work on top. So nothing wrong with running fast early on. I just see people who just like are doing these 7-8 minute miles. They've never ran. They're doing it 4 days a week. You could potentially lead to burnout or hurting yourself. So those are the first 2 points. I have some bonus side comments that I think will also help you with running early. So slow down, be consistent, right? Find something that's manageable. Man, 1 second. Now, some people start running and they are enjoying it and they want to get good at it, and then they stop themselves. One, because they burnt out. I already talked about that. But it just hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's hard, especially if you don't have good form and, a couple of other factors, which I'm about to talk about. So if you're new to running and you're trying to get into it and you're like, all right, I can be consistent. All right, I'll slow down. Another way to put it is just don't worry about pace. Like, don't give it too much energy. It's fine if it's slower. It's fine if it's fast. You don't need to hit a certain pace right now. You're new to running. If you've got that locked in and you understand that, but you're just getting hurt or you feel yourself wanting to quit because it's uncomfortable, Be okay with walking during your runs. You're still getting more mileage than you're used to. And then stretch and strength training. This is a big part of staying healthy as a runner, in my opinion. And a lot of people jump to I'm injured or my body's not built for this when really they're too tight or they have a weak point. So a couple examples of this, if you're experiencing pain as an early runner or you just feel like you're injured, I have this philosophy that most injuries, and I'm going to put injuries in quotes, boil down to a lack of flexibility or mobility or a lack of strength. And so for a very common one is people get runner's knees. Their knees hurt. So you could not have the supporting muscle strength for your knees so it would hurt, and you could also be super tight somewhere in your body that it's pulling on your knee. So I had runner's knee after a 100-mile race. I thought I would have to take some time off. I lowered my volume, yes, but what I did is I started doing tibialis curls to build some strength in my lower leg. I also started stretching the hell out of my quad and IT band. And eventually, after like a week, no more knee pain. And so runner's knee is one of those funny things that like people take like 6 months off for sometimes, because once they take the time off, they start running again and then it hurts again and they're like, oh, I need more time off. I think a lot of the times it's actually you are either weak in certain areas or supporting areas, or you don't have enough flexibility. It makes sense. If my quad was incredibly tight, of course my knee's going to hurt. It's going to be pulling on that. So as a newer runner, I really encourage you to find some time to stretch, and I make it super simple. Is you spend 5 to 10 minutes after every single run, non-negotiable, you stretch your legs. Or, you could do full body stretch, but I'm really focusing on hamstring, quads, calves, and kind of ankles. So if I finish a run, I spend 5-10 minutes outside before I come in, or sometimes I come in and let the dogs out, but the point is before I move on with my day, it's built into my training. If I'm running for an hour, really I'm running for an hour and 10 minutes because I'm going to stretch for 10 minutes afterwards, and it's a super simple way to get stretching into a routine, and also you're warm right after your run, so you don't have to warm up, or I think you're getting more effective stretching just because you're especially warm opposed to starting cold and doing a yoga session. I think it's great if you implement yoga or you have a couple of sessions per week. I just think this is a super way to get it done. So I would rather someone cut off half a mile or a mile in their run and stretch than be impressive because they have more of a volume. If you have high volume but you're not stretching, you're definitely running the risk of injury, in my opinion. And I think stretching is just good for you overall. So that's one thing. Now, strength training, there's so much to this. I think a very simple thing you can start doing is body weight or calisthenic type exercises. If you're already in the gym, I think you keep with your gym program. Make sure you don't skip legs because you're a bitch if you skip legs. And then also body weight if you're not used to the gym. You can do squats, push-ups, pull-ups. You can get pull-up bars that hang in your doorway for $15, $20. So getting used to the idea of strength training or pushing your muscles a little bit, I think there's all sorts of different ways to improve your strength, and calisthenics is just super easy and really good to start working on form and tuning into what feels good and what doesn't. So then when you do start getting under heavy weight or heavy weight compared to where you're at, you have some sort of foundation. So hopefully that helps for the newer runners. I don't want to hear I'm not meant for running. I think you're meant for running if you can walk. You just have a couple things you got to figure out, right? Imagine we were telling babies, oh, you're crawling right now. You're not meant to walk someday, so just stick to crawling. I think that's silly. So anyways, I appreciate the time. To summarize, find a consistent, manageable schedule. Be okay with slowing down. And then strength training and working on your flexibility or stretching is very important when you're early as a runner, and in general as a runner. But those are the main things to focus on if you're new to running and trying to make it work for you. So if you like this kind of content, my name's Reese. I do running content like this. So consider subscribing if you like that. And if not, I still hope you got something out of this video so you can improve your running. And I hope I get to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace.